Hi everybody, it's Mark Shellshear. This is the Mark Art Show, coming to you from the Shellshear project in Brisbane, Australia. Hey, I've had a great question over the weekend, and I'm going to do this question over this week because I think it needs to have that kind of response. So I'm going to read the question to you, and then I'm going to begin to speak about it. I think it's just a super question. This is the question. Hi Mark. At times I wonder as artists what we are all doing. I have a social media presence but wonder why we do this. It takes up a lot of time. For what purpose? I know I am known to a few people now, but sometimes I wonder what seeds we're sowing. This would have to be the most complicated business I have ever been in. There are Facebook groups run by successful artists, but again, I know it's for their own benefit that they have these pages, which is great, don't get me wrong, but why are we showcasing to other artists who I do not believe are our collectors? I was in business for many years and I know how it all works, but selling art these days just seems so complicated. The other thing is, I never see an advert on TV for a gallery or an artist, yet every other commodity is on there. Why not art? Isn't that a great question? It really struck me about this question because sometimes, because of where I live and what I do, I kind of can't see the forest for the trees because I'm right in the middle of it all. And so what I thought we'd do is let's look at this, the overall picture. What went wrong? Now you see, as I've said before, in the early days, before the 90s, the art business was perfect, absolutely perfect. You had galleries, you had dealers, you had auction houses, which really didn't sell to the average person, they more sold to dealers. And then things began to change, especially in the West, as wages went up, and then the internet came, and everything began to fall to bits. It was a perfect time then. You know, we were all in art societies or art groups and we spun around in our own little world. You'd have a show and you'd get a newspaper article done and a nice one page of you there with your art, and we'd be high-fiving everybody. Whether it translated to sales or not was another thing, and you'd send copies of it to all your relatives and friends, and that's what it was like. Yet today, in the West, it's not like that. Because galleries are closing, because of high wages, because of all the difficulties that go on. And so the business is becoming very complicated. Now in Asia still, because of low wages and because of low overheads, galleries still thrive and they're still going. But their end is coming. And again, it's the internet. We see online auctions starting. They are starting to encroach into the galleries because they are selling directly to collectors. They are not selling to dealers anymore. So that is changing that business. We're seeing art fairs all over the world, big art fairs, Basel, so forth. They actually impact on the market. All these things are happening. But you know, galleries and everybody, as I've said, are going to change. Even in Asia, they will have to change because as wages go up and overheads go up, galleries that are commission-only galleries will find it difficult to survive. So the disruptor is here, and this disruptor is the internet. And the thing is, artists are having to change, and many are not doing it. Many are doing it screaming and kicking, and they don't want to change. But the fact of the matter is, the old system is broken, and it will never come back. So if you're hoping that all of a sudden we'll see a boom of wonderful galleries through all the countries, not going to happen. Where we are now, the internet is where we are going. Now, do we know how to do this properly? No, we don't. Are we getting it right all the time? Not at all. And I think that this is such a learning curve for everybody. We are learning now that instead of having to go to collectors through galleries, you and I can go directly to collectors. We can talk to collectors. We can step out past the gallery. I know so many artists who've been in galleries and today are cutting the gallery out because they can go directly to the collector. Now, also we see these sites coming up. Yes, there's sites put up by artists, but there's a lot of other sites going up like Blue Thumbs, there's Sell Art, like Fine Art Universal, which really promotes art and artists and awards them for what they're doing. All these things are happening. Yes, it's not perfect. and there's going to be a lot more pain in the days ahead. It's incredibly complicated, and we're going to try and work through some of these things this week and try and get some explanations to it. We are still in turmoil. This baby isn't born totally. It is something that is happening. There's an evolution going on in the art world, and the art world is not happy with it. We still see people trying to use newspapers rather than do the internet, and yet we look at the decline in newspapers now. I don't see the value of advertising in newspapers because you can do it cheaper on the internet. And so all this is going to change. The disruptor has come. This is a fabulous question, and we're going to take it apart this week and look at how we can develop the better presence on the internet. But look, I don't have all the answers because I believe this is still evolving. I do not believe we're there yet, and I believe more and more we're going to see change. And unfortunately, when change comes, there's pain with that change, and we're going to just have to grow with it. So this week, let's enter into this. Let's begin to deal with some of these subjects and see that the old is gone and the new has come, and the new is not going to go away. So you're going to have to embrace the internet, embrace social media, and work through it as it begins to unfold, and it's going to unfold. Okay, guys, I hope that helps. Let's get into having a big week. Let's think about this. Let's see the changes that are taking place and embrace the change and develop our new tactics and strategies so we can sell our art on the internet, because that's where everybody's going to be selling it in the next 10 years. Okay, you have a great day. I hope that encourages you to think more about this. Remember, people out there are hurting. Hugs and smiles are free. Give them away generously. And I'm going to talk to you tomorrow. You have a great day. Ciao.